Peace and greetings, soul family. Welcome, 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 welcome on in. Oh my goodness, it is Sunday for most of us in the world. I just want to say welcome to everyone from joining us. Welcome in. Mama is the source, third letter. The goddess rain water is in the building, Priestess Erica. Welcome on in, everyone. Just come on in, get yourself nice and situated. Oh my goodness. How's everybody feeling? How are you all doing? Good to see you, Taylor. Shh, come closer. I love the names. Sia, Auntie. I don't want to mess it up. Sia, amen. The last show was amazing. Wow. We got to talk about that last show with Brother Black Dot, the legendary Dwayne, Brother Black Dot. It was so good to be back in this seat, to be the ones to ask the question. I love asking questions and you guys asking me questions, but my first love is really doing these deep dives. And I think we learn so much about each other. Yes, Goddess Rainwater, looking forward to seeing me in September. We're going to talk about that September because your girl is going to be out in these streets. I gotta really wrap my mind around it. How's everyone feeling? You just got back from the lecture tonight. You went because Brother Black Dot, Brother Shabazz, Brother, I don't want to say his name wrong, but quite a few other brothers, King Simon, all of them were at LIU in Brooklyn and they did the lecture for Eye Opener Productions. Now, if you are a real OG in these streets, then you will know that that's a big part of what kicked off what the world knows is a conscious community. And Brother Shabazz started that. And fun fact that I didn't even know that he started that with Black Dot was one of his main openers for the show that would come and lecture and speak. I'm still in awe of just how things come full circle. I'm still in awe that I'm sitting in this seat after 20 years and we're still going. But there's so much more. And there's so many more people who have stepped up and stepped into their calling. And one of the things I used to do back in the day, for many of you who don't know, and oh, by the way, where is my manners? I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle. Welcome on in. And before we get into that, we must talk about this. Happy Cancer season. And for everyone, to all my Cancer babies out there, happy Cancer season. We all are going to get some juicy goodness from this energy in Cancer. We all are going to be getting a blessing. Someone say blessing, because we're going to be getting blessed. Now, it's going to be some challenges there that's coming up for this week, but we are definitely going to get a blessing because Cancer season is where we take a internal inventory on how well we have been loving and nurturing ourselves. That part. How well have you been loving? How well have you been nurturing, caring for yourself? And Cancer season, that's Big Mama for real, wants to know, are you nurturing yourself? Are you really doing the things that will allow you to be your divine self? And so, where you're feeling these, ah, what is that name? that emoji next to your name. It's a heart. Y'all can't see the heart? Yikes. I put a heart there. So if you can't see it, I apologize. It's a heart. But I want you to know, yeah, it's where we take that meter. How have you been loving yourself? How have you been nurturing yourself? We know how you love everybody else. We know how you nurture everybody else. We know how you take care of everyone else. But how are you nurturing? How are you loving yourself? This is the season where we get that together. And Jupiter in Cancer will have this beautiful coming together. But remember, Jupiter is a teacher too. We often think of Saturn as a teacher, but baby, Jupiter is a teacher too. And so we have these two energies here together. That is such a divine blessing. Speaking of divine blessings, more than 13, 14 years ago, I used to bring guests on the show. And many of the names that many of you know, still know and love to this day. And I would do divine timing segments. And so this I want you to consider is the re-emergence from the remix, because the remix will always be in everything that I do, and everyone connected to it. But we are coming into this re-emergence of divine timing, the return of the givers. And I am so excited because we have our soul family member here that is going to be one of the first in this series to be relaunched, reemerged. I'm so excited. And so coming on is going to be Brittany Vibez. She's going to be joining us in just a short moment. And she's going to be talking about her new project, which I'm over the moon, over the top about. And yeah, we're going to sit down. We're going to have a soulful conversation. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I want to welcome everyone on in. Peace and love, soul family. We're going to check in with us really quick. Brittany is, she in the Kundalini lab getting herself ready to come on and grace us with her beautiful presence as we get ready to get into the share. I'm so nervous. Ooh, I love this. We're going to have so much fun. We are. But I want to give some acknowledgments. First of all, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but there is a new feature on YouTube and it is underneath the community tab. And I've posted some things there, but soon that's going to be fully open where you guys can post, you can respond things back, and we can really take our community to a whole nother level. To a whole nother level, like to a whole nother level. It's just going to be amazing. The other thing that I want is you will see top contributors and they have special badges. I don't know if you guys can see the special badges. I can't see them, but maybe you can see them. And if you go to the YouTube page, you will see the top contenders. I think it's the first 7 or the first 10 of the top contributors. I don't know. I feel like I need to give out prizes and gifts. We need to do something, celebrate. And I want to celebrate and I want to honor you guys. Now, this may seem like a small feat, but in my most loving and humble way of having a community that have grown really, really large and spread out all over the world. And then having that chapter closed down. And now my focus is primarily teaching and it's primarily on YouTube. And I get emails every single day of people, when are you coming back to iHeartRadio? When are you coming back to Spotify? When are you coming back to iTunes? That is coming. And of course, you guys know that The All About Frequency show will be launching. And technically, I want you to think of it this way: the Soulful Oracle show is that bridge between Planet Remix, the remix, and the All About Frequency show. And I'm merging them together gently. I'm not rushing, I'm being guided. And so I know I have a lot of displaced soul family all over the world, but it will come together in divine timing, right? So look at this as that relaunch here. This is sort of the soft relaunch before we go into the full, complete launch. And I thank you all for being patient with me. I do my best to show you what it's like to live this life in real time, unfiltered, raw, unedited, being myself. I'm not performing, I'm not acting, none of that. This is what it looks like, at least through my lens, through my world. And hopefully that gives you the strength to know that sometimes it looks a little messy, doesn't always have to be polished and performed and dressed up and suited down. And sometimes we require ourselves to be dressed up and suited down. But then there's other times that we just need to be about this work, baby. We just need to get it done. That's it. And so that's where I am. That's where I am. And I'm figuring it out along the way. And I'm allowing my higher self, God, the universe, to be my guide, right? So, next, I want to talk about this. First of all, where is it? Where is it? I got to do it. I want to ring the bell for self-invested and for everyone who is a part of the future activation class, because that's a class in itself. And did y'all get that text message today? I love you. Today is the day of love. And so I hope that it was in your heart and you told everyone you love that you love them today, and starting with yourself. So, everyone who's been a part of the Self Invested workshop, everyone who is a part of the Futuristic Activation group, and everyone who's about a part of the All About Frequency class, you understand? Because listen, that is off the Richter scale. And I am absolutely loving all the work that everyone is putting in. That's doing that. And everyone who's been taking in the download, the activation downloads, right? The digital downloads and doing the work. I was on live on IG, and all of a sudden, this brother was just like, when you going to open back up the Akashic files? I'm sorry, you guys. It's been one of those days. I'm going to have to hit this liquid magic. Um, I'm going to have to get me some liquid magic. You know what? Apple is coming out with a new product. It's called liquid something. Ooh, sounds like somebody got a little liquid magic in their blood. Mm. And don't worry. Yes, I know y'all are waiting for the next round of liquid magic that is coming. That is coming. So I had to get a little liquid magic in me. It's been a long day. I've been up since about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and doing some good things. Yeah, it's called, thank you, Quan, liquid glass. Yeah. They didn't bit the bullet. They didn't bit the bullet. I didn't bit an apple enough. They didn't bit the bullet. They didn't seen all my business, all my liquid magic business, as much as their tech support has had to help me. So I want to give a big shout out also to everyone who's in the Blue Room, all of the superstars, and you guys showed up and showed out for Brother Black Dot. and showing the love. And that is so powerful. I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every single one of you for showing him so much love, even though I know many of you are very familiar with him and his journey. But just to be in this space where you are showing so much love to Brother Black Dot, his first time being on the platform, and supporting him as well. And next, I want to give a big shout out to those who are first time listeners in the building. First time listeners, please let us know who you are. Let us know if this is your very first time. So, whether you are a long time listener or whether this is your very, very first time coming in and joining us, I want to say welcome. Welcome. Hi, how you doing? How you feeling? All of that good stuff, because I definitely need to know, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is something that, when that first came to me, people would ask, how you doing? No, I don't want to know how you doing. I want to know how you feeling. How are you feeling? And tonight is all about feelings. We're going to be talking about Brittany Vibez and her new project, Self Witnessing. And we're going to dive in deep. We're going to be diving in deep. Let's hit that like button because we're going to get into that. We're going to listen to a little bit of vibes. Yeah, we're going to listen to a little bit of vibes, everyone, but welcome on in. Get yourself nice and situated. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we go here. Hmm. 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 Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was You by Sarah Angel. So, I want to say, welcome to Divine Timing, where what's revealed is always right on time. And during this segment, tonight's segment, or this morning, depending on where you are in the world, the return of givers. This is something that is devoted to those who have sown into the soil of this soul community and now rising with their own sacred offerings. And I love that so much. And Brittany Vibez is one of those voices. She's a student of this space, a vibrational being, a high vibrational being, and now the author of Self Witnessing, a journey of remembering the essence and radiant truth. Now, I will tell you, I didn't know that this book was being birthed, but Spirit did. And so tonight, we are here to explore together not just what she created, but what she remembered and who she is becoming. And so, without further ado, we are going to give a very beautiful and warm welcome to Brittany Vibez. Peace and greetings, Brittany.
Peace and greetings. Yeah,
How are you?
I'm doing incredible. I'm so happy to be here. And
I,
wow.
I am so happy to have you here. This is just a long time coming. So, we're going to jump right in, and I'm going to start. And I want to ask you a question. What made you write self witnessing not a year ago, but now, or not a year from now? Why now?
Well, the reason I wrote self witnessing this year is because it was just like the right time, like you said, divine timing.
Mhm.
It was just so many things. I want to say since October of last year, I just had
Yes.
so much time to myself to remember who I am and just go within and I just really had like an abundance of time where I'm like, you know what, this is something I always wanted to do. Let me just go ahead and just take action, and
Mm,
uh, and really self witnessing actually came from, me reflecting on my childhood and how
mm,
just looking at the younger Britney, like feeling like, I wasn't, seen or heard, or I just like nobody understands. And
mhm.
it wasn't until I actually took that time to understand myself to say, I see me. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it just
Wow.
came together.
I love that. So, let's talk about that. Because one of the things that is so important, and you said there, you said when you were a child, it was hard. You didn't feel like you were heard or you were being seen. And we know how important that journey is. And here's a question that many, many years ago, when I first started Self Invested, which was Kim Biz, it was one of the questions we would ask and often asked throughout Self Invested in many of the workshops I do. But who were you before the world told you who you were? But let me put it in layman's term. Who were you before the world fucked you up and told you who you were? Because that's really what happens to most of us if we're just going to keep it real. The world kind of molds us and experiences and things that happen, and it's not so easy to separate ourselves from the things that we're experiencing. So who was Brittany before the world got a hold of you and told you who you were?
Well, Brittany, before the world told me who I was this. outgoing, nature loving Brittany. Like I was just like a free spirit.
Yeah.
Just not. I mean, I can't say a tad of rebellious, but I think that came from people trying to put labels on me. But it was just that free spirit, that creative spirit that just wanted to just feel and be of assistance. Like I always love to listen and provide like my insight and just help people.
Mm,
Yeah, it was just always in me, like to just kind of analyze things and just be happy about just analyzing and just being of assistance for real.
yeah, I love that. Now, we're going to talk about your book. Share a little bit about your book, this project that you have out for all the listeners out there so everyone could know, what is it about? The title is so captivating. Self-witnessing, because this is what we're all in essence doing. We're self-witnessing. So talk
Absolutely.
to us about your project.
Okay, well, self witnessing actually came from my cosmic conversations, just weeks and just years of just talking to the soul family and
Mhm.
realizing like we come together and we share, we build.
Mhm.
But this seems to be the essence of the core of the conversations. It always just seems to circle back. Like we just have to
Mhm.
see ourselves and remember who we are,
Yeah.
and just like just even just connecting with the family. I was
Mhm.
able to kind of like because we pull like marathons, like 12, 13 hour shows. So like
Mhm.
while I'm talking, I'm working, but I'm also like being of assistance. But I'm like, okay, this is something like this is very inspiring.
Mhm.
So eventually I just kind of like, from actually doing your work as well, like from the meditations to spirit quest and just
Mhm.
looking at all my downloads and my channels. And I was like, okay, I'm seeing the core, I'm seeing like a common denominator here.
Mhm.
And it was like, okay, I got to see me, like you say all
Mhm.
the time, you could just see you like I
Yes.
see you.
Yes.
And actually, it was like one day I woke up and I was like, I do see me. I do see
Aw.
me. Because at first, at one time, I was like, do I see me?
Do you
But I actually
Yeah.
see me now. So that's the reason it came about. And this book is not just like the breakdown of seeing who you are,
Mhm.
but it's also like poetry. Because I had
Mm.
started a segment called Higher Self Poetry as well. And I
Yes.
was like, y'all, this energy is just coming through me. It's all this creativity. Like I gotta start sharing these poems. Before I
Yes.
know, I have like a library of poems. So
Yes.
just from
You
each
are a true lyricist and
yes,
multi-talented. So I love that this is a book that is truly self-witnessing because we have a
absolutely.
little bit of poetry in there. And what else is in the book?
And then we also have like meditations and
Beautiful.
activations for each chapter.
Beautiful. Yes.
Yes. So it's kind of like I give you a breakdown of like each chapter is talking about witnessing yourself or like parts of yourself that you need to witness, but mostly helping you
Mhm.
connect with your higher self. And once
Mm.
you're able to, see your higher self, because that's the real true
Mm.
person you're witnessing is that higher self.
Mhm.
So after that, I actually wrote a poem to even
Mm.
kind of set the tone of the chapter. And then after
Wow.
that, to take it a step further, to get even deeper in it, I
Mhm.
do a meditation at the end, and that's
Beautiful.
actually coming soon as well. I'm actually going to release like you get the book. I'm also going to have like the audio of the
Yes.
meditations and the poems as well.
I love that. I love that. That is truly, truly beautiful. So, speaking of witnessing, one of your themes is being witnessed by the divine. What is the most uncomfortable truth that source has revealed to you about yourself?
An uncomfortable truth is sometimes I can be a little stubborn at
Mhm.
times, like when I like kind of when I get fixated on just seeing things a particular way, like a tunnel vision, and I
Mhm.
realize how that blocks my growth. So just even kind of seeing, being honest with myself and open enough to just say, hey, hold up, I need to kind of it's like I keep
Mhm,
repeating the same thing over and over, and I'm getting the same results. Like, I really have to
mm,
change that. Like, or
mm,
just even how like I
mm,
respond to different things, or how I minimize myself. That's what spirit revealed,
mm.
divine revealed to me too. Is how I would minimize myself to make other people feel comfortable.
Yes.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
eventually, yeah, I was like, you know what? No, I'm too great to kind of be minimized and put in a box.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
just got to be me. I got to be free, like Denise Williams.
Yes. Be free. Absolutely. I love that. That really is a powerful self-realization, especially when source can reveal something that is uncomfortable because this journey of self-witnessing,
Right.
it brings those uncomfortable things sort of front and center for you to have to face, have to deal with. Speaking of which, your book also speaks about the mirror, as within, so without, right?
Absolutely,
What
yeah.
outer situation in your life was the loudest mirror for your healing?
The loudest mirror is when I kind of got behind on my bills, on my blessings, and it
Mhm,
kind of shifted me to a different timeline that I wasn't expecting.
mm,
And even just kind of like it kind of like just changed things. Almost like I went into like a distorted mirror. Like I had this idea, like, yeah, everything
mm,
is fine, everything is gonna be all right. And then it
mm,
just kept like, things just kept piling up, piling up. And eventually I'm like, okay, I'm somewhere I don't want to be. Like this is
yeah,
I know I'm more than this. I can do
yeah,
more than this. So um really that's when I realized it is an inward journey, because I had to look at how I was feeling about myself,
mhm,
and how I even was speaking to myself. Like you said, it's the inner dialogue.
yeah,
So I was looking at like, okay, how am I speaking to me? Oh, I'm talking to myself like that, and then I'm listening to my thoughts, and I'm like, okay, I gotta clean this up,
mhm,
because it was reflecting on the
mhm,
outside, like
mhm,
everything, like, and I even seen how things instantly manifest, like certain things I would think, and it'd be like,
mhm. It
instantaneous.
happened.
I would say,
Mhm,
okay, well, since I'm that, it's like really as above, so below for real. So let me just actually start holding higher vibrational thoughts. Let me start holding self love thoughts.
mm,
And literally, I just jump timelines. Um,
mhm. And so, how did you do that? You say you went inward, but how did you really do that? What was the realization point of that? What could you attribute to getting to that point? How did that come about?
what that came about is just a lot of moments of silence and solitude. Like I had
Mhm,
to really just spend time with me and
mhm,
actually pay attention to what I was hearing on the inside. Like I was hearing certain thoughts, or like I guess because I'm so sensitive to energy.
mm,
um like a lot of I noticed a lot of, like, not saying my traumatic experiences, but a lot of stuff will replay, like that
mm,
same audio, the visuals will
mm,
keep replaying. I was like, okay, I gotta it's gotta be a way to get control of this. So I actually just kept taking time to just sit with myself and go
mhm,
within, just like,
mhm,
okay, I gotta hear myself. Like I'm like, I gotta get to the bottom of this. What is the root? What is the root cause of it? So
mm,
that actually came from, like, I'm glad to be a student of Planet Remix, because like your tools,
mhm.
between all those galactic e-files, we're
Oh
talking
my goodness.
even the lucky blueprint,
Mhm,
those moments of just taking time every day to just
mhm.
pause and listen,
Yeah,
to yourself, and just
powerful.
that stillness. Yeah, that's how I went
Wow.
with it. I learned
Yeah,
to. It's a gradual process. It doesn't happen overnight.
yeah.
But
Say that again.
for
Yeah.
real,
It
but
doesn't happen overnight, but you have really been able to do the work because a lot of times we have people in our lives, would you say, we have tools, but none of that makes a difference if you're not willing to take that step to really do the work. And I love what you said. You said you realized that you were looking at a distorted mirror of what
Yeah.
you truly felt in your heart, and you decided, no, this isn't what I want. I got to do something different, and you begin that journey, which is incredible. Here's another point. I'm doing my little. I'm doing what I do. I'm in the oracle files here. You have weaving the hermetic laws and ancestral wisdom. Which law and ancestral wisdom showed up for you the strongest when you were just about to abandon yourself?
Oh, that is a powerful. You got some great questions, Miss Blue. Oh my goodness. I'm like, what? Okay, this is what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I would say the moment when I got close
Mm,
was definitely, I would say, the law of frequency, of vibration.
mm,
I would say because I realized I'm Brittany Vibes. Like vibes is short for
mhm,
vibration,
mhm,
and like it was something about, and I think that's the reason why I make music, because that kind of
mhm.
vibrated me back to a
Yes.
higher frequency. Like when I was like, I'm about to just, okay, forget it. I'm done. I'm just gonna throw the towel in. And
Mhm.
it wasn't until I listened to a song of myself from like maybe like 2008, like like the
Wow.
younger Britney.
Yes.
It just kind of brought me back to life. I'm like, hold on, I remember that Britney. I remember that path,
Mhm.
that I was on, and it kind of
Yeah,
snapped me out of it.
I love
Um,
that. Mhm. And so you talked about the law of frequency, the law of vibration. How do
because
you
everything
see
vibrates, everything
Mhm,
moves. Yeah.
mhm. How did that's what's gonna be my next question. How do you see that playing out in your life?
In the present moment, or are you talking about
Mhm.
before?
Well, from that time, because you said that was one of the strongest laws that sort of when you went back and you were watching a video of yourself, like a younger version of you, and that kind of brought you back to life. And then it continued to unfold from there. Like, take us on that journey. Has the journey been rough for you? You know?
Yes, it has its moments when sometimes it was getting rough. Like it was to a point I was just saying, I was like, I went from like almost like a couch potato. And then my
Mhm.
brother was like, it's kind of weird because it's like you're not understanding the severity of your situation. You kind of just like,
Mm.
oh, it's all fine, it's all well. But that's why I realized the law of vibration. Like I'm gonna
Mm.
say really the cause and effect, because I think that's
Mm.
really what I'm trying to say. It's definitely the cause and effect
Mhm.
of the choices that I decided to do. Like, just to rewind and take back. So it got to a point I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna work on my music, and I'm just gonna do. And it's fine. I'm gonna do what I love. But over time, like as a cause and effect,
Mhm.
you know, my bills wasn't getting paid, and it's just like
Mhm.
a lot of different things I couldn't. I kind of had to like poverty and consciousness,
Mhm.
because it's just kind of like it's like I'm always needing, and
Mhm.
then it just got to a point I'm staying with friends, I'm staying with relatives, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is kind of not like what I had in mind for myself, because I was like, I
Yeah.
graduated school, and
Mhm.
it's like I'm supposed to be doing this. And even just the rewind and take back is I
Mhm.
graduated with my paralegal degree, and then when I
Congrats.
went to work for lawyers and law firms, I was like, okay, this is not what I had in mind either. So I was like, okay. And I was like, and then like how they kind of was talking to me, I was like, nah, this ain't gonna work either for me.
Mhm.
But even that kind of led me on another path of, okay, I'm gonna have to do something because I just
Mm.
can't keep staying here. But it's like I was with a family member, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just staying here months after months, and
Mhm.
this is not it's not causing any kind of like effect. Like I need like something more concrete. But to fast forward,
Mhm.
um, eventually that caused me to actually take my free time. I was like, okay, let me changed my perspective on
Mhm.
this whole situation. And I was like, well, since I got this free time, let me actually write these books. Let me write this poem. Let me write this music.
Yes.
So it kind of did have that cause and effect. Like at the time, I kind of was like, this effect is not serving me, but it was serving me when I
Mhm.
kind of opened my eyes to see it for what
Yeah.
it was. But yeah, and
Yeah.
so I was able to birth this book.
I love it. I love it. And so many other things. Tell us about growing up and your earlier days of your life and what that was like for you.
So growing up, hold on, I'm gonna make sure my laptop. Okay, she good. Um, I was like, then it was blinking, but so I grew up in a small rural town called Manson, North Carolina.
Mhm.
That's where I'm originally born and raised from.
Yeah.
Um, kind of like I kind of came about in the '90s. My parents, they were baby boomers. So it
Okay.
was kind of like I had like a. It's like I know I'm a young soul, but I was an old soul, and just kind of being shaped by that upbringing of being with my mother, my dad, and I was always around them, just taking in their energy. And then most of the time, I spent time with my grandmother, which I'm named after as well. And I
Okay.
would just spend a lot of times because that was before the cell phone days. So
Yeah.
we just had to play outside, and then eventually it just turns into I'm gonna watch the news with my grandmother, and
Mhm.
I had to find ways to entertain myself. So I was just been curious. I always had that love for intellect and knowledge. So I was just
Mm.
like, well, to entertain my mind, I need to read a book. I need to see
Mhm.
something. So I was constantly, reading books, constantly, just kind of taking my older, because I'm the baby. So I would take my older siblings' books and would just like read them. And so when I go to school, people like, Brittany, how you spell this? I was the Google before, the smartphone. Brittany, how you spell this? And Brittany, what's the definition of this? And um, eventually, kind of transformed into the computer. We're talking dial
Mhm.
up. Um,
Yes.
Eventually people would call me, and I was a computer friend. Can you look this up? So I was looking
Mhm.
things up, and just learning how the computer works. Like I didn't realize I was ahead of my time back then, just
Wow.
because. And that's another witness in itself, because I was like, I would tell my friends, I'm like, yo, y'all know this computer doing all this stuff, and they would just look at me like, yeah, we don't know nothing about that. Um, and I'm just like, okay, so am I on the right path? Like, so that's when I
Mhm.
had to realize, like, even back then, I should have been witnessing my greatness then, because I was like
Yeah.
kind of a unicorn then, didn't know. But
Mhm.
now that I do know, I'm moving different now. But just
Yeah.
to kind of fast forward, my mother, she transitioned when I was like 13.
Ashe. Wow.
And so most of that time, that kind of changed my path a
Mhm.
lot. Yeah. And then eventually I did my father, he transitioned when I was 21.
Wow.
So I just had to figure out a whole lot of things. So I got like I'm inheriting property and different stuff I'm like, I don't know how this stuff works. I don't, I was
Yeah.
just in a position, in a place of trying to
Mhm.
figure out who I am, and then I'm trying to piece my life together at the same time. So
Yeah, that had to
but
be
we
a
had to
lot.
just
At 13, your mother transitioned,
yeah.
and then 21, your father transitioned. I only know because my mother has a similar story. Her
Mhm.
mother transitioned when she was 12 years old. Her father transitioned even when I think she was 7 or 6, and she was the baby. And
Yeah.
so watching that interaction between my mother and the rest of her siblings, by the time we came along, there were still like 17 of them still living. And to see her as the baby with the responsibility she had, it did change her. And she often talked about that conversation of so much is kind of, left with you as the last child at home or the last child, with your parents. And so to go through this experience and to have all of these things sort of kind of saying, now you have to grow up, whether you're ready or not, you have to grow up. So you did go on at 21, were you in college when your father transitioned? Where were you at that point in your life?
Well, at that time, I was in college, and then I kind
Mhm.
of left because
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting how the universe works. So I want to say I came back home. Like I went off to college. I went to Central. Shout out to Durham, North Carolina. That's when I
Hey,
first moved
hey.
to Durham.
Yeah.
A Bull City.
Yes.
But I moved to Durham around 2012,
Yeah.
and then some. I want to say some interesting events occurred.
Yeah.
With like different people.
Yeah.
So I actually ended up coming home like in 2014,
Wow.
and he transitioned in 2015. It was like almost like I kind of came home
Wow.
to kind of spend
Wow.
those days with him.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I eventually went back to college, like
Yes.
probably like 23, and that's when I decided
Mhm.
to do the paralegal path. I was like, I always wanted to be a lawyer.
Lawyer.
Shout out to my mom, but she used to
Yeah.
love, like, she used to put me on so many different movies. But one
Yeah.
movie in particular that made me want to be a lawyer was called My Cousin Vinny. It's like an older movie, but yeah.
Mhm. And so
But yeah,
what about that movie that sort of sparked that in you like, "Hey, I think I can do this." Like, what was it about that movie?
right. Well, at the time, it's like it was his first trial ever. Like as a lawyer, like he
Mhm.
had just became a lawyer. He didn't know
Mm,
nothing about the law. He didn't know criminal procedure. He didn't know how discovery works or anything.
mhm.
And this is his first murder case because he was actually being a lawyer for a relative. And when I saw how he actually went from not knowing the law to actually learning the law as he went along and ended up winning his case, I was
Yes.
inspired. Even then, I was like,
Yeah.
wow. I'm like, okay, so that's actually, I could see myself doing that.
Beautiful.
Just
I
looking
do.
at how, I question people on the stand and um,
Mhm.
just, yeah, I love that.
I love it. I love that. Do you still wanna be a lawyer?
I actually do. Yeah, I still want to be a lawyer.
Mhm.
Like far as being a criminal lawyer, that has changed. Like I'm thinking more like corporate intellectual property because that's what it's turned into. I'm realizing
Yes.
even when it comes to my work, like how important
Yes.
intellectual property
Oh,
is,
yes,
how
because people will
important corporate law is. Like
Mhm.
it's like a rise of entrepreneurs. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Mhm. That's powerful. That's powerful.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
how do you
definitely want to be that.
personally work with your throat chakra?
How do I? I'm glad you said that. I actually did some chanting before I came on.
Mhm.
But I actually learned. I want to say just from being a student of Planet Remix is the tuning
Of
of my name.
of Planet
Just even
Remix?
kind of doing that. You know,
I couldn't hear
yeah, a
you. I
Planet
got you.
Remix. Well, definitely a Ms.Blue, the Oracle. But I will say,
Yeah.
um, just being able to. I feel like, am I lagging?
No, I think it's on my end. I'm just
Okay,
hearing the thing, but I think it's on
okay, I'm
my
good.
end. But you're coming through clear now. Yeah, yeah. I had to
Okay,
it's
I don't
clear
know
now.
if it's lagging.
A little bit it's lagging, but it's clear. It's clear. There you go. There you go.
Okay, okay, okay. So, but how I work with the throat chakra is I actually do different chants. So I would chant my name. I love
Mhm.
chanting like the chakra chants. Like when I first became conscious, like starting becoming
Mhm.
into like different awareness, I
Mhm.
learned like each chakra has like a lim, vam, and I actually fell in love with that. So yeah, a lot of times I love like the different harmonics of chakras, chanting, and even that opens your throat chakra. I was like the whole time I said hum is really the throat the whole time. And I've been saying
Mhm.
ham the whole time. the whole time, but I love it.
Mhm.
Just being able to, yeah, tune those chakras.
Mm. Mhm. Okay.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah. You're back. You're back. You're back. You're good. You're good. We hear you. We can still hear you. It's still coming through. We just know it's a lot of energy going on. It's a little bit of a lag, but that's okay. We're going to keep it moving through the lag. Um it's
Oh,
doing
okay.
great. Mhm. Let me ask you this, if you can understand this, I wanna ask you another question. We're gonna keep going, you
Still coming
guys.
through.
We know the lags is gonna be there just a little bit. Was there ever a chapter or a truth you thought about deleting from your book? If so, why?
It is a lot of energy. Keep it pushing. But yeah, that's how I think about what's the mantras and
We gonna see. We gonna see. Can you hear me, Brittany? Can you hear me? You can't hear me? Can you hear me? I
okay, I
think
can
we're
hear you now.
okay, you can hear me
It's
now because
kind of
it looks like it kind of froze a little bit. I'm not sure if it's on my end or, on
yeah,
your
I can
end
hear you.
there, but you can hear me
It
now?
was kind of going out a little bit, but
Okay, is it better now?
uh-oh, disconnect.
Uh-oh. We're gonna give it a few minutes, so family, you guys stay hanging in there. We got Brittany Vibes in the house, and, we're gonna keep it pushing. Is that we better now? Let's see. Can you hear me now, Brittany? We in sync again?
I can hear you
Okay.
now.
We good?
Yes, I didn't get your question.
Okay. So let me
Because
give
it
you
kind
the
of went out.
question. That's okay. The question is, was there ever a chapter or a truth that you thought about deleting from your book? If so, why? Okay. It's still
Yeah, I think it's
coming.
good now.
It's good now? Yay. Is it good?
I think it's good.
Okay.
I think we're gonna see. It was doing good, and then all of a sudden,
I can hear you. It looks like your camera, you're a little frozen. You don't have any other windows open, do
I'll
you?
go for
If you have any other windows open, maybe close them and see if that helps the connection a little bit. Welcome on in, So Family. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty with Brittany really quick. I'm going to bring her downstage for just a moment and see if we can get that fixed a little bit. But amazing interview. I want to let you know about Brittany Five's new project, her book, Self Witnessing. And it's available on Amazon. You guys can definitely go and you can get your copies now. This is definitely one of the things I think we all should be supporting. Brittany Vibez has been around the Soul family for many, many years. And she has been participating. She's always here in chat and always showing up as well. And so I'm excited to have her come on to spotlight her in this segment here. Yeah. In divine timing. Yes, divine timing, the return of the givers, which this is going to be a segment that I will be doing for many of the soul families. I think it's important. So many of you guys are doing your work and so many things are happening as well. We're going to listen to some music. I'm going to check in with Brittany Vibez and see if we can get her to come back on because I know she has so much more to share with us. Um, and yeah, It's so powerful. I'm so excited. Yeah. All right. All right, you guys. And so we are back. We are back.
Yes, we are back.
We are back. Yes. Brittany
That's
Vibes
okay,
in the
Shannon.
building, everybody. All right. So we are back. Well, all right, Brittany. Let's do this since we're
You got
coming
that.
back. I want you to tell everyone one, how to get in contact with you. Number two, how they can pick up their personal copy of Self Witnessing. And we can go from there. Yes.
Okay, well, how you can get in contact with me. I am on all of the social medias. I'm definitely on Twitter, Vibes, Brittany Vibes 33. Um, my Instagram is I am Brittany Vibes. And as you know, I post all of my music on my YouTube channel. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, that's the first place I usually post most of my content is on my YouTube channel. And
Mhm.
that's at Brittany Vibes 333. Um, and as another thing is TikTok. I'm trying to post a little more on TikTok. I think I got something I'm gonna do with TikTok. But y'all can follow me there as well. It's Brittany.vibes. Um, and if you have any questions, you want to contact me or because I do, a matter of fact, let me just run down like different stuff I do. So I do music.
Mhm.
I actually have an album I dropped last year called Resilience Inside Love. And I actually have some more music coming as well. I'm also a poet. I've been in love with poetry since elementary school. I want to say, yeah, middle school. and I've been
Mhm.
writing poems ever since. And also, I do spirit animals. I love that's another thing I get into is the spirit animals. I
Mhm.
love definitely, finding out the spiritual meanings and even getting down to like deeper is um, like actually just seeing what their personal message is. Like even seeing what crystal is connected
Mhm.
to like the spirit animal. And as y'all know, shout out to everybody who support me in my many endeavors. It's Cosmic Conversations, and a
Mhm.
lot of people ask me, where did Cosmic Conversations come from? And I was like, believe it or not, I love how I was telling my brother I have like a endless well of creativity that
Mhm.
kind of like feeds off of different things. So I actually made a song, "Can I Get a Ashe?" And in the
Oh,
song
yes,
"Can
I
I Get a
love that
Ashe,"
song.
it was like a theme song, so I can put it on and we can have some cosmic conversations.
Mhm.
And just from there became a podcast.
Mhm.
And hey, if we exclusively on Clubhouse, I would love to have anybody y'all can please come over. We have cosmic marathons, some real beautiful dialogue about what's going on. We cry together, we laugh together, we heal together, and we definitely. It's like a meeting of the downloads. I don't like to say meeting of the minds because the minds can get a little murky, but the meeting
Mhm.
of the downloads and uploads. So yeah, come to Cosmic Conversations on Clubhouse, and I'm always on Instagram and different places out here in these digital streets, for sure. And how you can get the
Mhm.
book? It's exclusively available on
Mhm.
Amazon. You can get it on Amazon Kindle and the print copy. All you have to do is type in self witnessing Brittany Vibes, and
You still there? Can you hear
the
us?
whole title, I can hear you. But yeah, it's called Self Witnessing: The Journey of Remembering Your Essence and Radiating Truth. Um, and I love how you always say, what we want for other people is what we truly want for ourselves.
Mhm.
So that's the reason why this book came about, because I wanted to remember my true essence and just
Mhm.
radiate truth. Um, I didn't like I want to say the shadow side of me. I didn't like when
Mhm.
I would just lie. I wasn't I
Mm.
didn't like that part. I want to live in truth. I don't ever want to live a lie.
Yes.
And I just want to, show up unapologetically me. Just be me, you know?
Mhm.
So
Beautiful. And
that's what that came about.
I want you to repeat where they can purchase the book again because it kind of got faded out there a little bit. But we're coming in clear, so I don't want us to get the neck connection broke. But you guys can go
Oh,
to Amazon. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brittany. Go to Amazon, type in self-witnessing Brittany Vibes, and that's spelled Vibez, Brittany Vibes, and it will come up for you. I know one of the moderators will grab that information and put it in chat. I'll make sure it's listed underneath the show notes when we come back so you guys can get it, and how to contact Brittany. How to contact Brittany. Yeah. I want to make sure everybody heard that. So I think they got it, Brittany. They got it.
yes.
But I want to go deeper into that because that was my question as we were coming in. Was there ever a chapter or a truth that you thought about and then said, "Nah, I think I'll delete this from the book"? If so, and why? I think
Is
it's
it still buffering?
we're having some technical difficulties, but listen, we are not going to keep going much longer. Can you hear me, Brittany? Because I want to make sure. Ooh. Mm, I think it's still breaking up. Can you hear me, Brittany?
It's still working on.
It's still breaking up. This is what we're going to do.
Yes, I can
It's yeah, it's still breaking
hear
up.
you
It's
now.
still yeah, it's still not coming through. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks like Brittany's signal was lost. But let's do this. All is not lost because we got some great information and we got a chance to hopefully for you guys, if this is your first time meeting Brittany Vibes or coming in contact, she has definitely been a part of, the Soul family for a minute now and definitely doing her work and excited about her new project, Self Witnessing. You guys definitely, you can go pick your copy up on Amazon, put in Self Witnessing, and then put in Brittany Vibez, and that's spelled Vibez as in vibes. And go check it out. Let this be an inspiration for you because we are in the time of self witnessing. That's what so many people are doing. The act of self witnessing is not just personal, it's planetary. So when one of us remembers our truth, and that is so powerful, the field shifts for all of us. It shifts for all of us to remember. And Brittany, I just want to say thank you for letting us see you. And to the listeners out there, may you pause long enough to see yourself. All right. Not just in the mirror, but your soul print of everything you have survived, everything you have healed, everything you have reclaimed. This is divine timing. And this is your return. I want you all to take that with you. Take that with you throughout this week. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle, and we're going to close this out. Close this out here. I think this was perfect. And it's been such an honor to have Brittany Vibez to come on and for her to be able to share this beautiful work, which is so much. Because if you follow her on social, you will always get some beautiful vibes because Brittany Vibez brings the vibes. And so check her out, her YouTube channel, follow her on Instagram and all of social media. And if you guys have Clubhouse, let me tell you, it's always a good time. I always have a beautiful time when I stop by Brittany Vibez' room, Cosmic Conversations, and see all the beautiful soul family members and others who are joining in into that sacred space. And so I think it's beautiful. That's what I want you all to do. And I want you all to grab Brittany's book, Witnessing, on Amazon. But more importantly, I want you to grab a mirror because this isn't just a read, this is a ritual. Okay. And then tag someone else who is in their becoming, who's writing even when no one's watching, who's listening to their own voice for the very, very first time. It's a place that we all start. It's a place that we all have been. And some of you, we are different places and spaces in this journey, but we are all self witnessing. We are all self witnessing. And again, my heart goes out. Like I said, Brittany Vibez has been a part of and a student. She's been one of those voices. She's been a student. She's a vibrational being. And now she is the author of Self Witnessing, a journey of remembering your essence and radiant truth. And if you know anything about me and the Soul family, I'm all about your own essence and your truth. So we need to support. This is something we all need to support. And I'm sure Brittany Vibez will come back by and we'll have a conversation, down the road. And we'll talk more about the follow up of this project and just seeing her unfolding. I lift you up in love and light. I am so honored to be a part of your journey, Brittany Vibez. Continue the great work that you are doing. And I just want to say, I love you all. Thank you so much. This was incredible. Uh, and we didn't have technical difficulties. We ain't gonna claim that. We had a little bit of static, but no worries. Absolutely no worries. Yeah. Yeah. Peace and love, soul family. I am Ms.Blue, the Soulful Oracle, and I am wishing you all so much love and so much light. So much love and light. And I may come back with a special message. So keep those notifications on. Make sure you come back, like, comment, and subscribe if you have not. And I will see you all soon in these cosmic streets. So peace and love. Peace and love. Ciao. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Emotion from my heart. Fuck all I got, and I love her. Let it chamber